Hey guys, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Today is Tuesday and it's 5:10 and I just got out. As always, a good day today. It's surprisingly a day with a lot of downtime, which is always a pleasant surprise if that. So yeah, good day. Again, wasn't too challenging. Again, had a lot of downtime as it turned out today, which was all good. No bad things to say about that or anything really, but yeah, I realized this morning that I forgot to mention in yesterday's video that yesterday was the 1 month anniversary of doing this whole thing. So that's pretty cool to me. Again, kind of a small but pretty big at the same time milestone, because again, I think if you would have told me a month and a day ago, assuming that this is yesterday, that I would have my own YouTube channel and upload videos 5 days a week, I'd probably, maybe part of me would have believed you, but most, if not all of me, would have not agreed or not believed what you said. So again, I think it just goes to show. I am very happy with these videos and the effect that they're having on me and the people that I'm close to and hold dear to my heart. But yeah, it just kind of goes to show that you never know how far one decision or choice or just change in habits or whatever you do on a daily basis, you never know how far one small little tweak in your life will go. So who knows, maybe that will empower you to do something that you've kind of been wanting to do recently, or maybe even for a long time. But it was kind of just a choice and a decision that I made kind of on a whim really one day, and it's done a lot for me so far. We're only 30 or 31 days in. I don't know how many months are in or how many days are in this past month, but yeah, already this has all had a very positive, profound effect on me. So I'm gonna keep doing them. If you don't like these videos, sorry, but if you do like them, then I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. But yeah, speaking more on yesterday's video, I was super happy with how it came out. I think that yesterday's video and my very first video, the first ever video that I made for this channel, those are the two videos that I think I'm going to hold on a pedestal until I guess make another really good one that I really like. But until then, I think yesterday's video and the very first video, those are always going to be two of my favorite ones. So that being said, if you haven't watched those videos yet and you're watching this one, I would recommend that you check the other ones out first that I just mentioned. Really just because I think I do a very good job of bringing to light a big topic in today's world. And I really like what I have in the moment to say about it. And I think it goes very deep, and it's very meaningful and impactful. And yeah, overall, I'm just super happy with how everything about both of those videos came out. Again, they're never perfect, just like every video I make, they're never perfect. And you kind of find bonus content and bonus material, and aka stuff that I just forgot to mention or just wasn't in my brain at the time, in the description. So always be sure to check those out too. I kind of fill in all the gaps that I feel like I missed and other stuff. But yeah, So we'll see how good this video comes out, you know. But no matter what, no matter how good or I don't know, whatever happens in this video, I'll post it anyways, you know, because who knows, right? But yeah, so today, honestly didn't really have that many thoughts going around in my head. Had lunch and, you know, was trying to get my brain juices flowing and trying to think of some things that I can talk about. Didn't really get much. I got enough, you know, to make a video, obviously, but didn't really get too much, which is perfectly okay. Nothing wrong with that. But what I did think I could talk about today, and hopefully this will carry on for you know, the entirety of the video, but we'll find out. But I guess let me open up with the story. So I'm eating lunch today. I'm outside and I'm eating at this picnic table. And with the company that I work at and the fact that it's a campus, there's a lot of cars always kind of flowing through campus. The picnic table is set up right next to a road that goes through campus, and so there's always a good amount of cars just going in and out all the time, especially, you know, when I'm taking my lunch. And so what I kind of just like to do automatically, and a lot of times without even noticing, is kind of just while I'm eating and hanging out during my break, is, you know, so long as I'm not like knee deep in thoughts or whatnot going on in my head, is I kind of just car watch for a while. Again, I've always had an interest in cars ever since I was a little kid, and I guess I would consider myself like an amateur enthusiast, but I've always liked cars, and so one thing that I kind of just subconsciously do when I'm outside eating and hanging out and stuff is I car watch. And with the company that I work at, you know, there's a lot of people that have a lot of nice cars, which is pretty cool. So it's cool seeing nice cars go past every once in a while, and especially cars that I personally like a lot. But it does kind of get me thinking a little bit. It gets me thinking that, say, a nice car that I like a lot drives by, and I guess to be frank, I have quite expensive taste when it comes to cars. So when a car that I like drives by, I can't really help but wonder how much it costs that person to buy or lease or rent or whatever, you know, they're doing with the car. I don't know. But it always crossed my mind how much money they had to spend in order to have that car. And leading on from that, I also can't help but think, you know, cars are not a cheap and inexpensive thing nowadays. So if a nice car drives by that I like, and I know, even though I may not know the exact price, but I know that it costs a lot of money, is that I wonder what else you could have bought, that person could have potentially bought with that money. The first thing that always comes to my mind is a plane ticket somewhere, for instance. And leading off of that, just any sort of travel experience, domestic, abroad, international, that doesn't really matter. But yeah, one thing that always crossed my mind is, as much as I enjoy seeing those nice cars and all that, I can't help but think, I wonder what else you could have, you know, gotten for that same amount of money. And what I eventually got to in my head was the subject of buying things versus buying experiences. So to make it a little more simple, things, when I say buy things, I mean like, say, like a car or a house or clothes or or really anything that you can physically, you know, touch and interact with, a thing. That's when you're buying a thing. And then buying an experience for me is stuff, and this is things that are first coming to mind for me, so I might forget a thing or two, but when you buy an experience, for me, that means buying something like a plane ticket or any sort of travel experience related thing, or say a ticket to a concert, or any event that you have an interest in. Again, I'm sure I'm leaving out a lot of stuff, but that's what it means for me to buy an experience. And really, so now, when I'm thinking about buying things versus buying experiences, and I'm seeing all these nice cars drive past, and I can't help but wonder how much they cost, and potentially what else they could have bought with that money. Say, for example, they could have bought a really nice travel experience for themselves and their loved ones. They could have instead invested that money and gotten closer to retirement. The list kind of goes on of, you know, what they could have done with that money that they had, but they chose to buy a car. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Your money is your money, and what you do with it is, you know, entirely up to you. It's none of my business. And if it makes you happy at the end of the day, then all the power to you. But for me, that's kind of just stuff that I kind of wonder about. I think that for me, at least, I'm no perfect, shining, golden example of this, but I really think that you should allocate more of your spending money towards experiences and not, you know, physical things, material or luxury things. And the reason for that is, if you saw a specific video that I posted in the past, and then I'm just going to reference real quick, but with experiences, I feel that compared to all the possible things that you could spend your money on, experiences and kind of the things that you can't exactly touch, like physically touch and interact with, but experiences that you can make memories from and all that stuff, those are the things that really grow and nurture your soul the most. And for that reason alone, I think it's very important to hold more of a priority on buying experiences instead of things. And of course, there's, you know, the caveat that you know, you do need a short list of physical things to, you know, operate and live on a daily basis. You know, say for example, food, water, shelter, clothing. You need that stuff to live and operate on a daily basis, and they are, you know, physical things, and so you should, and you kind of have to spend your money on them. But outside of that, the more I guess the excess money that you have left to spend on things, if you so choose, for me, I would much prefer to buy stuff that gives me an experience and helps grow and expand my soul in a way. And for me, again, that's with experiences instead of physical things. You know, memories and growth of the soul is something that will last for all of eternity, and something that you'll carry on with you even after death. And it's not the same with those physical things. As nice as they are in the moment, you know, eventually you'll have your Lamborghini, but then after 2 weeks it'll feel like you're driving a Toyota, and then, you know, eventually when you find yourself on your deathbed, you can't bring your Lamborghini with you to the afterlife. Unfortunately, that's just the way it works out for us. So yeah, I kind of have a few different roads to pivot to here, so I'm trying to think through which one to go down first. And then so you can also kind of connect this whole thing to this concept that I heard years ago called income inflation. And pretty much what income inflation, if you haven't heard of it, what it tells us is that say you first graduate college and get an entry-level job, and with that entry-level job you're not, say, making a ton of money, but you're making enough to get by. So you have an entry-level apartment and an entry-level car and all that other stuff that goes with the salary of an entry-level job. You can survive just fine, but everything that you kind of have in your life at the moment is, I guess you can consider it entry-level, if that makes sense. It doesn't cost the most money, but and it's not of the highest quality, but it gets the job done just fine for you. So you're kind of running on entry-level mode. But then, as you get older and your career progresses and you find yourself to be making more and more money, getting a higher salary from your job, you have more money. But at the same time, and what a lot of people don't even notice, is that they're now spending more money on those things, like, say, a house or an apartment or a car or clothes or anything like that, or better food or something. I don't know. But really what income inflation says is that as your salary increases, so does your spending. And so really, at the end of the day, say if you take your first job out of college and you looked at your salary versus how much you spent each year, you can even break it down in the months too. You take that and then you compare it to, say, 20 years down the line, the job that you have 20 years later, but also your yearly and monthly spending that you also have 20 years later. And the margin of what you earn versus what you spend, even though it's 20 years apart and you're making however much more money 20 years down the line than you did when you first graduated college, is that the margin that you have between what you earn and what you spend is pretty much the same. And really it kind of traps you in that rat race, if you want to call it, for far too long. It really keeps you there for much longer than you actually need to be if you kind of didn't increase your spending alongside your increases in salary. And it's tough because I think with the human psychology, like, everyone always wants the best possible thing that they can have in the moment, and it takes a lot of discipline and strategic thinking to not do that, to kind of stay humble and kind of stay with the bare minimum and have more money in that. I gotta concentrate for a sec. But just have more money with that margin between what you're earning and what you're spending. Kind of just lost my train of thought for a sec, but yeah, so I think that an easy, faster ticket to freedom, and what I mean by that is retirement, is by, as you progress in your career and you earn more money, of course, there's a very likely chance that as you progress in your career, you'll find a partner and get married and have children, and so kind of naturally your expenses will increase, and you can't really stop that, but you can't really control it. But what you can control is all of your voluntary spending. So I think that a good thought to have is to think that, you know, as you progress in your career and you're making more money over time, to be okay with not having the prettiest, most, you know, sparkling, highest quality things, and to try to live more below your means. And naturally, you'll have more money to, say, invest into your future, and also more money, you know, to if you are going to spend money, to buy more proper things like experiences and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that whole income inflation thing can really help a lot of people if they open their eyes and open their minds to it. So that's something that I want to do. You know, personally, when I first started my job, I invested in my company's 401k, which is like a retirement savings plan, and the investment portfolio that they presented me with was this thing that it was a 2065 portfolio. It was an index fund. And I saw it, you know, in 2065, and you know that I was born in 2001, so that puts me at 64 years of age when that portfolio matures. So really that's locking me in for about 41 years if you do the math. I saw it for the first time and I was like, whoa. I would prefer not to, you know, spend over 40 years of my life at a desk, no matter how much I may come to love my job and my career. I'd much rather spend that time, because it's so much, you know, exploring the world and discovering and growing myself as much as I possibly can in my life. I'd rather spend majority of my time in my life doing that than, say, behind a computer screen at a desk. Yeah, that's just me. So I guess going back to the whole car spotting at lunch, you know, when I see a nice car drive past, and as much as I like that car and as much as I'm stoked for the person behind the wheel of that car, I can't help but think, you know, like how far the money that they spent on that car, as well as, you know, probably all the other things that they own in their life, could go in terms of say growing the soul and discovering the self. I'm sure if they can afford and drive that car every day, I'm sure they also have an equally as nice home and equally as nice other luxurious and material things like clothes and a whole bunch of other stuff that I can't think of right now. And I can't help but think that if they could, say, humble themselves and come down to earth a little more and get by just fine living far below their current means, then all the experiences that they could gift themselves and their loved ones with, and all the freedom and all the time that they can kind of buy back, you know, to truly live and experience everything that there is to. So yeah, I think that's something that's going to be in my head a lot moving forward, you know, as I get older and eventually my career progresses. But yeah, again, that's just me and my thinking and what I want my journey to be. And again, as always, full respect and full appreciation and nothing but good wishes to whatever yours may be. like there's one more thing that I'm forgetting to say, so I'm trying to think about it because I'm just about home now. I'm trying to do some last second thinking. But, okay, give me one more second here. Yeah, can't really think of it right now, but I'm home now. I just said that before, but I'm home now. So just remember that there's a lot more to it than you think. Remember to ask me questions and leave suggestions if you have any. And yeah, just try to buy experiences and buy freedom more than actual things in life. I think that's a good rule to live by. And when you do buy things, make the money as well spent as you possibly can. Put your money in the things that you're most passionate about and you believe in the most and that you resonate with the most. And yeah, with that, if there's anything that I'm missing or I forgot to say, you'll find it in the description, so always be sure to check that out. But yeah, as always, hope you guys are doing well, and we'll talk tomorrow. Bye.